Now this is something I've been wanting to do for a little while now, and I just hadn't got around to doing it. But I wanted to talk about Chris Kanyon's book, Wrestling Reality: The Life and Mind of Chris Kanyon, wrestling's gay superstar. I read it about a month and a half ago or so, and I talked about it on Twitter a little bit. But I wanted to go a little bit more in depth with it, and instead of typing it out, decided to do this. A lot easier for me. And anyway, like I said, for whatever reason, kept forgetting about it or something. And then today, a friend of ours, Chris and mine, Jim Nielsen, he's on Twitter too, at Croc Lesnar with a C. And actually, Canyon's the one that came up with that name, Croc Lesnar. He wasn't the biggest Brock Lesnar fan in the world, obviously. But anyway, Jim reminded me that today was Canyon's birthday, and would have been Canyon's birthday, 42, I think. And, so I decided, what better day to talk about the book, and I'll be honest with you, it was for me it was pretty hard and tough to read. You know, it kind of dives right into a suicide attempt that Chris had a couple years ago, earlier. And I knew about that, and I talked with Chris about that. And I guess just reading about it again was just, it was just tough. And then he started talking about the people that he was going to leave behind, and seeing my name in there for whatever reason just hit me pretty hard, and I had to put it down. For a couple days, actually. I didn't know. I didn't even pick it back up. And then I started getting calls from Jim Mitchell, Vandy Balls. He was the sinister minister in ECW and Vandenberg and WCW. And he's pretty prevalent in the book, so he was texting me, asking me what I thought about it. And we talked about it on the phone a couple times, and so I decided to dive back into it. And it's a funny book, because Chris is a funny guy. He's hilarious, and I got kind of a unique perspective. I'm sure all his friends and family do, because we know how crazy he was. We could kind of hear him saying some of this stuff, and that gives you a good perspective. But knowing that he, eventually succeeded in his suicide attempts, there's a sad overtone. I ain't gonna lie about that, and that's pretty tough. Anybody that's ever lost anybody to suicide, no matter what you've done, you always get the feeling, you always feel like you could have done more, and I knew about his struggles with being gay and stuff like that, and I supported him, I supported him in anything he did. I just, I didn't have no advice for him, and I don't know why I felt bad about that, I just didn't know. I don't know anything about being gay, for the simple reason that I'm not gay, and I don't know if that's good or bad. I hope it's not bad, but if any of my friends want to talk to me about picking up chicks and stuff like that, yeah, I got a ton of advice. I got a ton of mistakes I can tell them about too, but just I don't have any gay advice, gay advice. I just don't have any advice about that world. I don't know about that world, and I did what I could to be supportive of him, man. But like I said, anybody that's listening to this that's ever lost somebody to suicide, you know what I'm talking about. It's just it's tough. But he's a funny guy, a lot of funny stories. He loved wrestling. He loved it, and that's the big thing about why we became friends. Just his passion for it. Talked about it all the time. He was in WCW. He was the innovator of offense. I was the sensation of innovation. So we always kind of had this like little, who could come up with the newest move, like that sort of thing going on. Just a funny guy, really good guy. And that's another good thing, just being a good guy. He never did anybody wrong, And in this business, that's hard to find. And I'm sure in all entertainment it's like that. I've heard a million stories, in movies, music, television, all that nonsense, it's just. But I know especially, when you get to the top level and you get to the big show, and not the actual human being Big Show, but when you make it to the upper echelon in this business, there's a lot of underhandedness that's out there, and he was a victim of that, as the book kind of dives into, and that hurt him. That hurt him a lot. It wasn't the cause of his depression, but it amplified something that was already there, and that's tough. Yeah, because like I said, he helped so many people. He never hurt nobody, you know. He was a good guy, and I wish he were here. I wish he was still here. I wish I could tell him happy birthday today. And but back to the book. I'm glad I read the book. I recommend it to not only any wrestling fan, but just anybody in general. You know, especially if you know somebody that's going through that plight of and I don't even know if plight's the right word, but they're going through that struggle of being gay in a predominantly not gay world. This book helps you. It gives you a little insight into that I certainly didn't know about. I didn't know about the struggles, a lot of things I never thought about. And so you never know what people are going through. You just honestly don't know. You know, I mean, you pass people in the street every day and you don't know what's going on in their lives. But anyway, pick it up. Wrestling Reality, The Life and Mind of Chris Kanyon, wrestling's gay superstar.